thanks for gardening with me. I'm Melissa, and today we're going to be doing a late May tour of my garden. So today I thought I'd represent Ohio University. My grandson just graduated from high school. His graduation ceremony was this past weekend, and he's going to be going on to play football for Ohio University. So shout out to Cameron Wright. Just wanted to represent today. I'm so proud of you. But today we're going to start the video tour in the front yard. The lighting is a little off, so I may do the tour throughout different times of the day. But the front border is looking exceptionally well tonight, so come along with me and I'll show you how it looks. So in this border, which is the front border in front of my porch that I just washed off because there's pollen absolutely everywhere, I have the blue Hosta and the red and the barberry. I did want to bring in a little bit of the yellow, and so this year I've planted some gorgeous things which have this little delicate double flower on them. So cute. And then the coleus there too. I brought in that lime green, so hopefully the lime green, you can see how well it works with all three colors here: the blue, the reds, the yellows, and the greens. I do have my hydrangeas that are absolutely beautiful when they're in bloom, but they do bloom on old wood. And so, as you can see, the top of these dead looking sticks have green coming out. And if I were to cut those sticks back, then I would get no flowers. So, as beautiful, and if you want to go back and look at the July garden tour, the hydrangeas there are absolutely stunning, just gorgeous. But up until mid-June, I'm stuck with this and I just can't handle it. So what I think I'm going to do is grit a different hydrangea, one that blooms on old wood and new wood, and put that there. Maybe some that start out white and in a deep burgundy color. I think that would be gorgeous. Here we have this Stilby, which send up beautiful stalks of pink flowers that look almost like feathers. They're gorgeous. And the barberry and the holly here, I have not trimmed back at all since I've put them in. I mean, little bits here and there, but not much at all since I put them in, because I bought them on clearance actually. And so they were teeny, and I've just been really wanting them to put on some growth. So I've been kind of letting them go for it, and I think probably at the end of this season I'll be able to trim them up and start shaping them into the, a little more tidier version. I don't mind the fluffy version right there. I like the cottage look where it's all full, so that doesn't bother me, but I do think I would like it to be a little more tidy than that. Here we have more Stilby. So as you can see, a Stilby down there. I like to do repeats of color. It's just kind of easier on the eye. Got the chartreuse there and the coleus again. And these are lamb's ear that my daughter just gave me, and these are the big ones. I have a lot of the smaller ones in the back, but I really like the big leaf ones, and so I'm anxious to see what those will do. This is Jacob's ladder there, which is finally starting to take off. 2 years I had it in my planter on the front porch, and I planted it in the ground, and it's just kind of struggled to take hold, but this year is, I think, its year. Same thing with the lamium that has a nice big weed growing in the center of it, but it's flowering this year and it's really starting to take off. This whole area is just filling in very nicely. Brings me up front here to the Japanese paden ferns, which are my favorite. I just absolutely love them. I do need to pull back this Vinca vine. I've pulled it back several times already this year, but it likes to really go at it. So I need to pull that away just to give that a little bit of room. It doesn't mind to be kind of crowded in there, but I don't want it to take over the roots. I also have a Stilby in there and another Stilby, if I can find it, over there on the other side of this heuchera. But as you can see, this is really nice and thick. Sorry about the lighting change. And then I'll take you around the corner here to my newer bed. This is only a year old. And this is my new Hosta garden. I think I've bought maybe 3 plants in this entire thing. The rest of them are just splits from the other places in my garden. This ground cover here is called a juga, and it has a really nice burgundy foliage, and it has blue flowers on them, which are spent right now, but I also have a few weeds. Nothing in my garden right now is perfect. Not that it ever is, but I've really been focusing a lot this year on my potting shed. So I'm a little slow, a little behind on some of the other stuff, but I'll get to it. It's not going anywhere. Jack of Frost Brenner there. This is it's been in for a full year, so it's really starting to take off. In the earlier spring, these flowers on it are just beautiful. Just a beautiful, they're blue, but they just are almost like fluorescent. Gorgeous. And then we have lungwort back here, which also gets those beautiful blue flowers on it. That'll spread, the brown will spread, and then I also have forget-me-nots back in there that also have the same blue flowers on them, and they're there. I'll show you when we get more around to that side. And then I love to have this bishop's weed, which, yes, it has deserved its name because it will spread like crazy, but I like to have this in a super shady spot because as you can see back here, it just really pops. So, but it will spread. Kind of easy to maintain as long as you don't let it go for too long. You can just pull it up really easily. This is an elephant ear that's just new in the ground, so it looks a little tattered right now, but in another couple weeks it'll be about 3 to 5 feet tall, believe it or not. Super dark, almost black leaves with the green running through it. It's just going to be absolutely beautiful. It could probably use a little bit of water right now. I haven't been watering things much because we've had so much rain. But as you can see, the Hosta garden, which is definitely more than Hosta's, is coming along. And here we have the other side of the front border. And I'll start actually back here. This is kind of maybe going a little out of hand, but I like it. I have a heuchera there, a couple different hosta. This I think is really cool. The fern with the little hosta leaf right in the middle. But all of these have gotten huge. And then we have the bleeding hearts here, which they're actually getting ready to bloom again, which is kind of odd. I'll take it though. And midsummer, those will just kind of die back and you won't even see the greenery from that. Here we have some lilies that will be blooming soon, and those will have a wonderful fragrance to them. This Pachysandra kind of goes everywhere, and then I have this beautiful delicate little pink flower, and it's almost like a forget-me-not, but I can't remember the name of it, but it just blooms and blooms and blooms, and it's just in that teeny little corner right there. Over here we have a few evergreens, and what I want to do is make this mostly evergreens, but it's a process because evergreens are really expensive. So I do like the blue of the hosta in here, but like that hosta and that one over there, midsummer don't really look so great. So we'll see. I'll end up trading it out for either those boxwoods that are in the back, or I'll get something new. This is a hellebore, which I don't know if you can see, but everything has got pollen all over it, and I am so allergic. But this is a hellebore, and this blooms in March. And it has these beautiful blooms on them, and they're a lot more vibrant in the early winter. but they'll bloom when there's snow on the ground, and they're just absolutely beautiful. And then here it is, almost June, and it still looks beautiful. Still has the flowers. They're just fading to this color, which I absolutely love. So I have hellebores in quite a few different places. This is a Korean spice viburnum, which has tons of new growth all over it. But I'm gonna definitely keep that on the shorter side, so I'll have to keep that in check. And it blooms a really nice fragrant bloom in the early springtime. I have evergreen there, evergreen Daphne there, euonymus. This is the peony that, I mean, it's just absolutely gorgeous. Love, love, love the color of that peony. And then below that we have the glow blue spruce, which those colors together, the green, the blue, the yellow, and then the red of the echinacea, not echinacea, heuchera on the other side of it. I just love that combination. I think having the combination of the different colors, different textures like this is mostly greens, but you can see there's just so many different textures and different depths of color that just bring a lot of interest. This kind of looks like a weed, but it's a really pretty pink, I think cosmos, and they just kind of spread, and that'll look really cute here in about another month or so. But this front border here is not grown for flowers. It's grown for texture and color. So the fact that we have peony blooming in there right now is lovely, but pretty soon there won't be any flowers blooming in here, and it'll still be just equally as gorgeous. This is a single peony that a lot of them are on their way out. They've been in bloom for a couple weeks, but I mean, this is just beautiful. Just absolutely beautiful. Can you tell I love plants? This we have a boxwood, a false cypress, heuchera, and then a boxwood there. Definitely could use maybe a lighter tinge of the yellowy chartreuse in here. I think would look really nice maybe in this pot as these violas go away. And then on the other side here, I just have some impatiens, which are double impatiens. I absolutely love them, but they might be getting a little too much sun here. We'll see how they do. And then like that, I think that that would look really cute in this pot here, unless I do something with some flowers behind it. And then out here we have the island. This is what I call it. There's quite a few flowers in here right now, but some of them are on their way out. That is a lily that will be blooming soon. This Siberian iris, when it was in bloom, was just gorgeous. We have the wild geranium here in front, a few daylilies here and there. That is a hydrangea that does have some buds on it. So looking forward to seeing that bloom. This will be its first year blooming in the ground. I did have it in a pot on the back patio last year. Well, on the back deck. Echinacea, irises there that they did not bloom this year. And they were just put there last year, so if they don't bloom next year, it's either because they're not getting enough sun or they're planted too deep. I'm not really sure. But, and then I have these lovely ladies here, which some call them a weed, but I think that they're just beautiful, and I just kind of let them go. It's just such a pretty plant. So it does like to spread, and I will definitely have to keep it in check, but it's really easy to pull up. And when I get to the point where I don't feel like, you know, in a few years, maybe I don't feel like going after it, pulling it all the time, I can always put that edging going around. That'll keep it from spreading, because it spreads by its roots. I have a dahlia there that's going to be gorgeous when she blooms. Daylilies. Look at this. And that is just a beautiful peony. It's got stripes of that magenta in it. Just gorgeous. And then back in there we have sedum autumn joy and a heuchera that's getting swallowed up back in there, and then all of these lily of the valley, which I think I will be digging up quite a few of those and putting them in the back. I'm going to surround them around my hosta because they're not eating the lily of the valley. So hopefully if I have them surrounded the hosta like that, then they won't eat my hosta. So that's my goal. We will see if that works. And here as we come around the side yard, we have the trailer parked there, but this is toad lily, and I've dug out a cube up in there, and then I have a little dahlia that is just barely coming in. Right there, you could barely even see it. But in this area, I also have a few daylilies, which are kind of encroaching on my blueberries, so I may have to move those. The blueberries, I have a couple. These are all, gosh, I can't remember the name of it, lemonade something. And then this is the one that was in there first, and it gets the blueberries way before the other ones do. And it's really just loaded right now, which is nice. Hopefully we get those before the birds do. Here we have asparagus that is some in there that can be picked, but once they start coming out skinny, you want to leave them, and then they grow to be those tall fern-like things, and that's what feeds the roots for next year. But there's still a few that are a little thick in there that we could go ahead and eat. And here we have tomatoes, some peas back in there, some more tomatoes that should climb over that whole thing. Those are cherry tomatoes. Back in here we have some lettuce and spinach planted that hasn't, the seedlings are just starting to pop up there. You can see those. And then here we have kale that is past its prime, but I've been leaving them just because it's kind of helping to shade the little baby kale that's growing up underneath there. So at least that's my story anyway. It is going to seed, so I may just let it seed because it is an organic brand, so I may just let that seed. Here we have our strawberries, which I have been having a problem this year with the chipmunks getting to them before we do. So that's pretty frustrating. Pretty frustrating. I have a couple in there that are ready, but man, if you're not right on them, those chipmunks are getting them before we can. And there's a ton of berries in there, so we should get a lot this year. And then this year I got the Buried Treasure Proven Winners. And I've been wanting them for a while, but we haven't been getting them in Ohio. So we finally got them, and they have the red flowers, which are really cute. They say not to let them go to berries the first year, but I always do. I just don't have the patience to wait a whole year for them. I just took my hoops down, so I need to put those away. But over here we have garlic, spinach. This is broccoli. That's a rogue potato that came up from last year. I've always seen, if you forget, if you miss a potato from the year before, it'll pop up. And we always seem to miss one somewhere or another. Carrots here. We have beets there, lettuce growing, some more baby lettuce growing here. I just planted a bunch of beans there. This is garlic, rosemary, basil, 2 tomato plants that'll go up and over this cage, which I did that last year, and it was really nice. And then on this side I have cucumbers, which I did the exact same thing last year, and the cucumbers grew up and over. And you should really alternate your planting. So this year I should have put the tomatoes on this side and the cucumbers on that side, but I did not do that. Here we have a bunch of Walla Walla onions, some more kale. This is where I actually did plant potatoes this year, so those are growing up nicely. This I put in a bunch of hosta here over the winter to winter over them so I could plant them this spring, and I must have missed a root because it's starting to come back up. These are Italian green beans and bell peppers here. We have some fennel, or no, that's not fennel, it's dill. Going back in there, little ferny stuff, that's dill. We have shallots in there, which are there from last year. So I don't know if they're going to be bitter or not, but we'll see. Then we have oregano and sage, as well as a little bit more rosemary right there. And that is my beautiful potting shed that I've been working on all spring. I still need to put a front step all the way across the whole front and skirt it in, and then I can start on my greenhouse that'll be attached to the back of it. And I'll just give you a little tour of the potting shed for now. I am going to do a complete tour of it after I get the front step in and the skirting done around it. I also have a few things on the inside that I'd like to get finished, like a door on the cabinet. A few other things need to be completed in here, hung, pictures and things like that. I do have this nice little desk here that gets used a lot. My adorable little hooks that I absolutely love. I have that vintage mirror over there. The beams that I did, and I have videos describing all the work that I did in great detail, and I will link those at the end of this video. Here, as you can see, the back side of the potting shed, we have the arborvitae potted there. I'm going to put a bunch of gravel in here and a couple chairs. Like I said, a big step going across there. That'll be really cute when it's finished. We have these couple nice big pine trees that we just put in this year. So definitely in the works. This is that beautiful clematis that I planted to go up this tree. Hasn't made its way very far up the tree yet, but man, is that beautiful or what? And I definitely need to take this green off because it distracts from it, but use something a little more eco-friendly, I think. But it's just beautiful. Just beautiful. And then that brings us right back here to the back border. Look how cute he is. Need to do something different there to accentuate him a little bit more. Nice pink flowers going all the way around him. And then as we come around here, you can see this is the backyard garden, and I call it the pool border. That's actually, I think, 3 years old over there, and we'll get in a little bit closer. I had a hard time deciding when to post this video because there wasn't a lot of things in bloom, but what was in bloom was beautiful, which is the irises. They were all just absolutely gorgeous, but they're kind of fading now at this point. And I was hoping to get the roses in bloom, but as you can see, they're just about ready to explode. And there's hundreds of blooms on, or buds anyway, on there. And those are carpet roses. That one there is a little further along than the rest. It must get a little more sun. And And this, oh my word, look at how beautiful that iris is. Just gorgeous. So behind that is the lilies. They're getting ready to bloom. They will be beautiful and smell wonderful. We have salvia in here. Yarrow has buds all over that. But we haven't even mulched yet this year. I still have to pick up all the helicopters from the maple tree, which is, it's huge. So thousands of helicopters just go everywhere in the spring. So I have to get those up. One year I thought I would be clever and just put mulch over top of them, and that did not work. We ended up with just tons of maple trees everywhere that I had to pick. This is a buddleia. Doesn't look like much now, but here in another month it will have buds on it that are like a foot long, and they're just beautiful. This is a spiderwort, which it had some blooms on it. I can't remember if it was in the morning or at night, but it only blooms like one time a day, and then it closes back up and then reopens the next day. It's crazy. Lilac bush, which is spent. Yeah, it's already done with its thing. This is some of the beautiful irises, and this one smells like grape soda or grapes. It's lovely, really nice. Back in here, there's quite a few different things. We have the foxgloves, and I just planted some of those, so I'm hoping that they will naturalize over time and just really fill that area in. I've always loved foxgloves. I just think that they're amazing. This hydrangea has got buds on it, so that's really exciting. I have a bunch of dahlias in there, so lots of interest still to come. I don't know if you can tell in this video or not, the size of that hosta. I mean, it is absolutely huge. Probably each leaf is probably the size of my torso. Just absolutely huge. In here, I just have some little zinnias that I planted in between the daffodils as they were waning. Primrose, quite a few different hydrangeas in there. I have a David Austin rose, which is just beautiful, ready to open up. Salvia behind there. This is a buddleia. It's a miniature, and it didn't make it back this year for some reason. So not sure what happened there. Maybe it didn't get enough sun. That's probably what it is. So, and then look at this. Look at this peony. Pure white. It's just absolutely gorgeous. And this is only its first full 365 days in the ground. So it's just going to get better and better with time. See, what else do we have back here? Spirea there. This is a hellebore, which it's already gone to seed, but it's still, I mean, it just looks beautiful all year long. This is the first thing to flower every year. It flowers in like March. It'll flower when there's even snow on the ground. So that's always such a welcomed thing to have color in the ground. Here we have the columbine, which never disappoint. Now those self-seed, so they kind of go crazy everywhere. So that's what all these little seedlings are. If you can see them in between the helicopters back in there. They seed everywhere, but they're just so beautiful. I don't mind. This is kind of really filling in. This is the wild geranium. So I have that one on that side, and then over on the other side I have one there as well, and also back in the corner. So this will all change very, very much very soon. I have a lot of summer plants in here that really just show off in the summer. Some elephant's ears in there. Here's another one of those beautiful iris. It's kind of big, kind of getting covered up. But just gorgeous. And then these, after they flower, you just bust the spent bloom off, and I just toss it to the side. These are phlox. Couldn't think of the name of them for a minute. They're phlox, and they'll get to be about 3 feet tall. And have a few dahlias in there as well. This is another peony. I doubt that I get flowers off of this one this year because my neighbor gave it to me. So we just transplanted it from her yard. People say, oh, they don't like to be transplanted. They're fine to be transplanted. They just won't give you flowers this year, probably. It's got buds on it, but they'll probably just dry up. This is another hydrangea, and it is just doing really well this year. Here we have another David Austin rose. I need to come out and deadhead, but this is just its second year too. But just beautiful. So many petals in there. There we have a Midnight Masquerade penstemon. And I just adore the colors. Pinks and purples, that's kind of my jam. And then this is, ooh, we got one flower down there. So this whole thing will just be absolutely covered with those. And again, here we have that hosta. It's absolutely huge. Gladiolus in front of that. And then we're kind of getting over here into the sun, so I'm not sure if you'll be able to see things quite as well. But these just beautiful irises have just been blooming their faces off. And they're just gorgeous. I don't know if you can see them well. I'll try to get them in the shade. And then around this corner we have lavender down here, and then boom, the knockout roses, which totally deserve their name. They'll look like that all summer long. Just absolutely gorgeous. Isn't that beautiful? And then beside that we have daylilies, more irises that are done. They do bloom twice, but they've definitely got issues going on. There was a bug that was attacking it last year, and I think I might have got it under control, but not 100% for sure. We have elephant ears back here, sedum autumn joy that looks very not happy right now for some reason. And then we have our banana tree, surrounded by black-eyed Susans and elephant ears. These all need to be pulled. And then this is Tony's little garden. These elephant ears will get as tall as me. They're huge. 2 banana trees, another big elephant ear, and then we have banana tree around here, which is just trying to come back. And that was given to us by our friend Dana. And then this is all daylilies. And that takes us back up to the shade garden. So I'll go ahead and take you around back and let you see what I've got going on back there. It's in the works. Let's just say that. It definitely has a lot of work to go, a lot of ways to go, but it's coming along so far in such a short amount of time. So this is the entrance going back into the wild back border here. And it's definitely wild. This is pretty much what all of it looked like, except for it was a lot worse, because at least this over here has got most of the weeds killed. It just has all the stuff that still needs to come out. So it's definitely a work in progress, but it's cute. And yeah, it needs a ton of work, but we're gonna do it, and it's gonna be really nice once it gets finished. This is our wood pile we keep back here for all of our fires. I had planted a few of the evergreens there, and the deer just really tore them up this winter, just ate them to where we didn't think they were going to come back. So what I need to do is come back here with the shears and just cut away all the dead and just see what happens. I mean, they're going to be not beautiful. They're going to be catty-wonkered on one side and everything, but I think that'll still be okay for back here. It's not that big of a deal. And here's just a quick overview of the rest of this back area here. I do have it planted up quite thick. There's a lot of things back here. The only thing really in bloom right now are these Siberian iris. There is a lot that will be in bloom back here, though. Some things haven't even come up out of the ground. So as soon as those do come up, I will do a video back here, and after we get it mulched and looking halfway decent. Back here I do have a few things planted, but not a ton, because we still have 3 trees that Tony needs to take down. And as soon as we get that accomplished, and I'll probably even do a video of that, and I will share it with you. So that's it. We're going to end the video right there today. Thank you so much for gardening with me. I hope that you found some inspiration, maybe some ideas that you can implement in your own yard. If you have any questions or comments, please let me know. I try to answer every comment that I get. And just please subscribe to my channel and hit that notification button. That way when I do come out with new videos, you'll be able to see them right away. I do have quite a few projects in the works this year, so stay tuned, and we'll just see how it all comes together. Thanks again for gardening with me. God bless. Have a great week.